bring out the list, bring out the performance. How many ministers? Who are those who have best performed? How many of the ministries can be combined?
Okay.
You have
that ministry was supposed to have done an annual assessment.
Yes.
They did it for 1 year. We did a public show of it in Parliament. I was in Parliament. I actually asked Haji Alima Mahama at the time. I asked her, well, Madam, I understand that you are going to be assessed in next week. And she said, I am not aware. Probably she had not been told that anybody was going to be assessed, by the way. But what you have now is that's the Honorable Sechiman Sabonso leading the Speaker of Parliament. With them, you will find the entourage of the creme de la creme of Parliament. That's the President-elect who will now be sworn in, or he'll have his investiture with his Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The First Lady is there. The spouse of the Vice President is also there. Just to remind you that we're live on 3FM 92.7 and on our Facebook page, on TV3 Ghana, on Instagram and on Twitter as well. Our WhatsApp line is active and you can share with us your thoughts and comments. So it means that we're set and ready to go. We're waiting for the cue of the Speaker of Parliament to invite the Chief Justice to do what's due. But at this point, I'm sure we can all tell that this is as colorful as ever. Dr. Sarkodie, so the President, again, and for me, I've always said that I liked his style of appointing his ministers. He would mention your name, mention your credentials, mention the problem that he has seen at the ministry he's taking you to, give you a KPI, and tells you what he actually expects you to do for the people of Ghana. So on that basis, he made a very strong point and said that every minister that he had picked, every deputy, deserved that position. Now, that had cost implications. So when you tell me now that he would listen to what has been said, he has given you accurate justification for what he thinks must be done for Ghana. And he says he's in a hurry.
The people who vote, they vote to show you what they want. And therefore, sometimes when they speak, as the leader, you should sit back and assess yourself, assess everything, and then, implement some of the suggestions they have made. I have heard this cutting down of ministers, number of ministers, on almost every platform that I find myself. Almost every radio and television stations that I have gone to discuss the budget. The first thing everybody talks about is the number of ministers, which is consuming a bigger portion of the budget for the executive. So I am sure he will listen, and I'm sure that he will be able to reduce the expenditure on that side and channel it into other investments. This is what we need as a country. I will be very surprised. I will be very, very surprised if he maintains the 120.
If he maintains the 120, means that he is depleting his strength in Parliament, because 50% of his ministers, by our constitution again, must be picked from Parliament. Well, so, Doc, then it comes back to the question, should we rather have agencies represent some of the ministries, or should we just cut down the number and leave it like that?
To be very honest with you,
I'll endeavor to take just a few minutes to acknowledge them on your behalf. We also have in our presence His Excellency Professor Alpha Conde, President of the Republic of Guinea. His Excellency Mr. Macky Sall, President of the Republic of Senegal. His Excellency Mr. Mahamadou Issoufou, President of the Republic of Niger. The French, they say Niger. His Excellency Mr. Roch-Marc Christian Kabore, President of the Republic of Burkina Faso. His Excellency Mr. George Mane Weah, you all know him very well, President of the Republic of Liberia. His Excellency Mr. Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. His Excellency Mr. Umaru Sissoko Embalo, President of Guinea-Bissau. His Excellency Dr. Bonito de Souza Baltazar Diego, Vice President of the Republic of Angola. His Excellency Colonel Asmi Goita, Vice President of the Transition in Mali. His Excellency Mr. Rui Figueiredo Soares, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Regional Integration of the Republic of Cape Verde. His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, Chairperson of the African Union Commission. His Excellency Jean-Claude Cassibreu, President of the ECOWAS Commission. Senator Theresa Ifua Asangono, President of the Senate, Republic of Equatorial Guinea. Our own Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers, Special Representative of the Secretary General, United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel. His Excellency Geoffrey Onyama, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Honorable Jean-Yves Le Drian, Minister for Foreign Affairs of France. Mr. V. Muralin Harm, Minister for Foreign Affairs of India. His Excellency Aurélien A. Agbenonsi, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Benin. Honorable Vincent Biruta, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Rwanda. Mr. Mamadou Tangara, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Gambia. Mr. Pakomi Murbelet Mubeya, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Gabon. And we have also His Excellency John Ajekun Kufuor, former President of the Republic of Ghana. We have Her Excellency Hajia Ramatu Mahama, wife of the former Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. And our own, the Right Honorable Ebenezer Virginia Sechi Hughes, former Speaker of the Parliament, and he's not here alone, he is with his dear wife to honor the swearing-in of His Excellency, the President-elect of Ghana. We have another former senior member, Honorable Freddie Blay, former Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and now Chairman of the New Patriotic Party. We also have His Excellency Jacoba A.S. Oliva Terhindrazaniri Velo, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Madagascar. Ambassador Amin Abba Siddiq, Minister for Foreign Affairs, African Integration, and Chadians Abroad. His Excellency Mr. Kabanda Kana Andrew, Minister at the Presidency of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mr. James Dudridge, Minister for Africa at the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office of the United Kingdom. Ambassador Peter Pham, Special Envoy for the Sahel region, United Nations, United States of America. His Excellency Richard Wanza, Ambassador of the Republic of Zambia to Ghana, representing the President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Mr. Edgar Changwa Lungu. His Excellency Emad Magdi Hana Kamel, Ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt to Ghana, representing the President of Egypt, His Excellency Abdul Fattah el-Sisi. His Excellency Ms. Imani Kwadil, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Morocco, representing His Majesty King Mohammed VI of the Kingdom of Morocco. We have numerous distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, too many for mention. But before I end, I had acknowledged some of the dignitaries before the arrival of His Excellency, the Vice President-elect, and His Excellency, the President-elect. And so I will just mention them. It's only, I believe, 4 names. So just bear me for a while. His Excellency, Mr. Sassou Nguesso, President of the Republic of Congo, is here with us. His Excellency, Mr. Faure Gnassingbé, President of the Republic of Togo. His Excellency, Mr. Alassane Ouattara, President of Côte d'Ivoire. And I believe the last, but not the least, His Excellency, Professor Alpha Condé, President of the Republic of Guinea. It's important that I acknowledge the presence of my dear one, I gave a title to the wives of former speakers. And since some are here, if I don't use the same title, I may be charged with discrimination. Since the speakers are right honorable, I humbly proposed, and it was accepted, that their wives be referred to as left honorables. So my dear wife is here, the left honorable Alice Adjoa Jonas. Now, honorable members, with your kind permission, I want to, on behalf of the House and my good self, wish the visiting dignitaries a pleasant stay in our country. Without much ado, I want to move to the next item, and that is to invite His Lordship, the Chief Justice, to administer the oath to the Vice President-elect. Your Lordship, you may carry on.
I, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and
to
allegiance
the Republic of Ghana
to the Republic of Ghana
as by law established,
as by law established,
that I will uphold
that I will uphold
the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana,
the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana,
and that I will preserve,
and that I will preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
the
Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
So help me God.
So help me God.
That's the oath.
I, Mahamudu Bawumia,
having been elected to the office of the Vice President
having been elected to the office of the Vice President
of the Republic of Ghana,
of the Republic of Ghana,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that I will at all times
that I will at all times
preserve, protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
And I will dedicate myself to the service and well-being
myself to the service and well-being
of the people of the Republic of Ghana,
of the people of the Republic of Ghana,
and to do right to all manner of persons.
and to do right to all manner of persons.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that should I at any time
that should I at any time
break this oath of office,
break this oath of office,
I shall submit myself
I shall submit
to
myself
the laws of the Republic of Ghana
to the laws of the Republic of
and
Ghana
suffer the penalty for it.
and suffer the penalty for it.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Alhaji Vice President, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I congratulate you on your assumption of the office of the land as Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Congratulations. Honorable members, before I go to the main item, my attention has been drawn to the presence in this August House of some special dignitaries that we cannot afford not to recognize. It's important that we recognize the presence of Her Excellency Rebecca AKUFO-ADDO, First Lady of the Republic of Ghana. We also have with us Her Excellency Ramatu Bawumia, well, I don't know whether she saw an affidavit to change her name, but that was what they submitted to me. So, Your Excellency, I apologize on behalf of the House for the mix-up. She is Her Excellency Samira Bawumia, spouse of the Vice President of Ghana, who is the second lady of the Republic. We also have our revered traditional leader, the paramount chief, but I'm not recognizing him because of that title. I'm doing so because he is the chairman of the Council of State in the person of Nana Otuo-Sribour. And now, the purpose for which we are here. I have your permission to invite His Lordship, the Chief Justice, to administer the oath to the President-elect. Chief Justice, you may do so now.
I, Nana Adodankwa AKUFO-ADDO,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of Ghana
to the Republic of Ghana
as by law established,
that I will uphold
the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana,
the sovereignty and integrity of Ghana,
and that I will preserve,
protect,
and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
The Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
So help me God.
So help me God. I, Nana Adodankwa AKUFO-ADDO,
having been elected
having been elected
to the high office of President of the Republic of Ghana,
to the high office of President of the Republic of Ghana,
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
do in the name of the Almighty God swear
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and true to the Republic of Ghana,
and true to the Republic of Ghana,
that I will at all times
that I will at all times
preserve,
protect,
and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana,
the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana,
and that I dedicate myself
and that I dedicate myself
to the service and well-being of the people of the Republic of Ghana,
to the service and well-being of the people of the Republic of Ghana,
and to do right
to
all manner of persons.
to all manner of persons.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that should I at any time
that should I at any time
break this oath of office,
break this oath of office,
I shall submit myself
I shall submit myself
to the laws of the Republic of Ghana
to the laws of the Republic of Ghana
and suffer the penalty for it.
and suffer the penalty for it.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Do you want me to fill this in?
Mr. President, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I congratulate you on your assumption of the highest office of the land as President of the Republic of Ghana. Honorable members, and I have the pleasure and honor to invite the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa AKUFO-ADDO, to deliver the inaugural address. Mr. President, you may proceed to deliver your address.
Mr. Speaker, I extend a hearty akwaba, our word of welcome to the excellencies, the distinguished leaders of sister states from our region and continent, as well as to eminent representatives from other friendly nations and international organizations who are gathered here in the vibrant city of Accra, capital of Ghana, to join us on this auspicious occasion. I thank each and every one of you for being present at this inauguration of my second mandate, COVID-19 notwithstanding. Your attendance is an expression of solidarity and friendship that speaks volumes of your attachment to the goals and aspirations of the Ghanaian people and state, for which we are very grateful. I must at the outset express my warm congratulations to my good friend and colleague of many years in this House, the Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, on his assumption of office as the Speaker of the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic. Nearly 3 decades of devoted service to Parliament by you has culminated in this moment, which has seen your elevation to the 3rd great office of state of our nation. Together, you and I will be chartering new territory in the governance and politics of the 4th Republic. For this is the first time in the life of this Republic that a president from one party will be obliged by the exigencies of the moment and the will of the people to work in all sincerity and cooperation with a Speaker of Parliament from another party. I'm confident that both of us will be guided in our relationship by the supreme interest of our people in ensuring good governance in the ordering of the affairs of state. I want to assure you of my wholehearted determination to work with you to advance the peace, progress, and prosperity of the Ghanaian people. Once again, many congratulations to you and the re-elected and new members of Parliament. A few moments ago, I took for the second time the oath of office to serve as President of the Republic of Ghana. I follow in the exalted footsteps of 2 of my predecessors, the first and second presidents of the 4th Republic, Their Excellencies Jerry John Rawlings and John Agyekum Kufuor, who served 2 successive terms in office. I cannot, therefore, take this honor and privilege bestowed on my mother's self lightly, and I thank Almighty God and the Ghanaian people who, by an emphatic margin, renewed my mandate in office for 4 more years in the elections of 7th December. It is a demonstration of the confidence and trust you, the Ghanaian people, have reposed in me, not only in appreciation for the achievements chalked throughout my first 4 years, but more significantly, for the considerable amount of work that is to be done over the next 4 years in our drive to take our nation firmly onto the path of progress, prosperity, and development following the havoc wreaked by COVID-19. This is a task I wholeheartedly accept, and I assure all Ghanaians that I'll do my best to deliver on this mandate. The accomplishment of this mandate is going to take place within the context of Ghana's maturing democracy. The Ghanaian people have manifested time and again in these 28 years of the Fourth Republic their determination to build a free, democratic, peaceful nation which is respectful of individual liberties and human rights, the rule of law, and the principles of democratic accountability. A governance structure built on the separation of powers provides the best vehicle for the protection of these values, with a well-resourced judiciary and parliament as the principal accountability organs of the state. This has been the main thrust of public policy in these past 4 years and will continue to be so in the next. The unity and stability of our country are the welcome outcomes of such a development. This is how we can ensure, in the words of one of the great figures of Ghanaian nationalism, the illustrious Joseph Boachi Dankwa, that we have, quote, a system of government under which those who are in control of government are under the control of those who are governed, unquote. Mr. Speaker, the sheer can-do spirit of the Ghanaian, which I have witnessed all my life, is the bedrock on which we can build the Ghana of our dreams. Indeed, 4 years ago at my first inauguration, I urged all Ghanaians to be, and I quote, citizens and not spectators, unquote. I appeal to you to be active participants in the effort to help build the Ghana we want, the democratic, free, prosperous, and united Ghana envisaged by our founding fathers as the Black Star of Africa. In my first term as president, I was able to count on the contribution of all citizens in attempting to create this Ghana. What I have seen these last 4 years is further evidence, if any were needed, that the Ghanaian will no longer accept poverty and deprivation as his or her portion, but is rather determined to work to chart a path of growth and development for himself or herself. Today, our economy, even in the face of the global pandemic of COVID-19, continues to show resilience and a much faster rate of recovery than originally envisaged, and was indeed one of the fastest growing economies in the world in 2020. Ghana remains one of the most attractive destinations on the continent for direct foreign investment, with the presence in the country of some of the world's largest conglomerates attesting to this fact. Establishing a strong economy, undergoing structural transformation to value-added activities, which will generate jobs for our young people and enhance their living standards will be the main preoccupation of my second term. Together, we're ensuring that the basic tenets of social justice are met. Many said it was beyond us, but we have ensured that financial considerations no longer determine the fate of the Ghanaian child. Because of the implementation of the free senior high school policy, once willing and able, senior high school education is the minimum education to be received by every Ghanaian child. Access to quality health care is no more a luxury ordinary people cannot afford, following the revival of the National Health Insurance Scheme. Our aim is to reach universal health coverage as soon as possible. Food production has increased significantly, and a conscious effort has been made to improve the living standards of our farmers. The newly constructed warehouses dotted across the country are storing the surpluses for export to our neighbors, and the program for planting for food and jobs has become the veritable rock on which the successful future of our agriculture is being built. Our roads are being constructed at a much faster pace than before. And yes, I acknowledge that there are still many more kilometers to construct. We defined last year as the year of roads. This year will be the second year of roads. As we continue with our focus on dealing with the deficit in our road infrastructure, the development of our rail sector, on which considerable resources and energies are being devoted, will open up the country and lead to the creation of a more connected society, and will also help realize the goal of regional and continental integration. The arrival of COVID-19 drove home the lesson to all of us that we have to be self-reliant. The pandemic has emphasized the fact that we cannot continue to be living on edge in a day-to-day economy. This is dangerous for our survival, and it is important that we set up buffers of protection in all aspects of our lives. So when there was a shortage in the supply of personal protective equipment, at a time when they were being sold at extortionate prices on the world market, the enterprise of the Ghanaian shone through. We produced right here in Ghana our own sanitizers, face masks, medical scrubs, gowns, liquid soap, amongst others. We can indeed build a Ghana beyond aid if we make full use, as we must, of the enterprise and ingenuity of our people, especially our young people. The prominent role being played by young people in the digitization journey of our nation is strong proof of the feasibility of this objective. And Ghana is set to become one of the most digitized economies in Africa in the next few years. In this same vein, I expect the locally produced Eku juice, one of the results of government's one district, one factory flagship policy, to replace rapidly the imported fruit juices on the shelves of our supermarkets. Not because anyone will so decree, but because the quality of the locally produced one is as good, if not superior. I doubt, Mr. Speaker, that anyone would ordinarily mention akpeteshi, the local gin, as a possible item on the world market. I cannot vouch for its taste or potency, since I gave up alcohol many years ago. But I can say that the made in Ghana and beautifully packaged Apu I have recently seen can compete in the most sophisticated markets in the world. My boundless confidence in the energy of the Ghanaian makes me believe that we can become the prosperous nation we aspire to and soon. We have good reason to be proud of what we have been able to achieve so far. Mr. Speaker, we know that the democracy we seek to build and entrench in Ghana will ultimately succeed if we build a prosperous nation and our people are at peace with themselves and with the world. I pledge before this august House and the good people of Ghana that I will do all I do will be for the common good. And with a firm foundation laid in my first term of office, we shall take a significant step towards reducing the infrastructure deficit that has placed us all throughout our nationhood. The remaining 15% of our communities without electricity will be covered by the end of my second term. We have already begun constructing hospitals in the remaining districts that do not have one, a process which will be completed within the year. The percentage of Ghanaians without access to potable water is set to reduce significantly following the commencement of work on a number of water supply projects across all parts of the country. The majority of our people live in unacceptable housing, and we shall tackle the problem with vigor. With discipline and caution, just as we have done since March 2020, we in Ghana can continue to reduce the number of active cases of COVID-19, which currently stands at a little over 900, and open up our country again to the rest of the region, continent, and the entire world. We have taken the bold step of reopening all our schools again because our fundamental conviction that education is the key to our future. We will do everything possible to ensure not only the safety of the children, but of teachers and non-teaching staff as well. We Ghanaians have always been very much aware of our place in our neighborhood, in our continent, and in the world. We recognize that poverty and insecurity plague our region, and thus we shall continue to make our voice carry the weight of our convictions and contribute to making our world a safer and happier place. We shall play our full part in the deliberations and activities of all the organizations to which we belong: ECOWAS, the African Union, Commonwealth, La Francophonie, the United Nations, and others. Ghana, which has the privilege of hosting the Secretariat of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, intends to be one of the main drivers of its success. The AFCFTA provides us Africans with a great opportunity to exploit and develop our resources for the benefit of our own people and end the centuries-old exploitation of our continent's vast wealth for the benefit of others. In the words of the historic first leader of our nation, the celebrated Kwame Nkrumah, and I quote, "It is clear that we must find an African solution to our problems, and that this can only be found in African unity. Divided we are weak. United, Africa could become one of the greatest forces for good in the world," unquote. To my fellow Ghanaians, I invite all of you to join in the exciting business of developing our country. There are endless opportunities if we remain united. What our forebears dreamed of, we will achieve. If we inherited dreams and visions from our founding fathers, we should leave legacies of achievements and realities to our children and their children. For I believe in the limitless prospects of Ghana and of us, her people. So let us be up and doing, and with faith in the Almighty, seize our destiny. Mr. Speaker, may God bless us all in our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. Your Excellencies, once again, AKUFO-ADDO, I thank you for your attention.
Mr. President, on behalf of the House and on my own behalf, I sincerely thank you for your inaugural address. I also wish you and the Vice President well in the administration of the country. Honorable members, having listened to His Excellency the President, I think the main item is over, and I want any indication from the leaders of the House. I see the honorable member for Swami constituency, Honorable Oseche Mensah Bonsu. Any indication?
Speaker, today, Thursday, the 7th of January, has been a very momentous occasion. I've had to elect the Speaker of Parliament and his two deputies for the 8th Parliament. In turn, the Speaker has also had to swear in members of Parliament elect. Then, as we find ourselves in the tent now, we've witnessed the swearing in of His Excellency the President and his Vice President. The President and indeed Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. The day has been long. It was tortuous and indeed rather labyrinthine. For the newly sworn in members of Parliament, the day began yesterday before 11 p.m., which means that they have had to endure almost 15 hours since yesterday without blinking our eyes. Mr. Speaker, there is a lot of wisdom in beginning the swearing-in process soon after midnight, and the events of today bear ample testimony in the wisdom contained in this exercise. The speakers have said there has not been any indication from you about the extension of the sitting, and that being the case, I believe any member at any time stated for the closing may move for adjournment of the House as provided for by our orders, Order 44. In the circumstance, and given the discussions that we had this morning, that is between myself and the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, may I move that the House takes an adjournment until Friday next week at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. Speaker, I do so move.
Honorable members, the motion has been moved for adjournment of the House. Any seconder?
Sorry. Right, Honorable Speaker. I beg to second the motion.
Honorable members, motion for the adjournment of the House moved and seconded. Is now for the consideration of the House. There being no consideration, I put the question. Those in favor for adjournment, say aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I don't want to prolong your long dry fast. I have myself fasted more than I've ever done. Honorable members, there is a very vigorous attempt to arrest the motion. And I want to crave your indulgence to permit just a few minutes, because it's a request I cannot turn down. We are being called upon to give an opportunity to one of our visiting dignitaries to at least say a word or two of gratitude to His Excellency the President. This is the request. And I'm told it's coming from the highest office. And so, with your kind indulgence, may I invite His Excellency Professor Alpha Conde to say a few words of thanks in response to the address, inaugural address of His Excellency the President of Ghana. Your Excellency, you may proceed to the podium. I've done that.
Je voudrais dire d'abord que c'est un grand plaisir, un grand honneur pour nous d'assister à la prestation de serment de notre frère et ami président Nana Addo, d'autant plus que nous n'oublions pas le rôle qu'a joué le président Nkrumah. Tout ce qu'il a dit, c'est vérifié. Il a dit, si l'Afrique ne s'unit pas, voilà ce qui va arriver. Et tout ce qu'il a prédit est arrivé. Donc c'est une grande fierté pour nous de nous retrouver au Ghana. Et nous remercions tous les chefs d'État qui se sont déplacés pour rendre hommage à notre frère. Et nous savons que sous sa direction, le Ghana va faire des pas de géant. Et le peuple ghanéen peut compter sur l'ensemble des chefs d'État de la CEDEAO et de l'Union africaine pour accompagner notre frère pour le mieux et pour le bonheur du peuple du Ghana. Je vous remercie.
Your Excellency, Professor Alpha Conde, on behalf of the House, we want to thank you so much for the words of congratulations. In fact, I started revising my French notes, and I think I got a few words of what you said. We thank you so much. Honorable members, I'll have to put the question again. Those in favor of an adjournment of the House, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The House is accordingly adjourned to Friday, the 15th day of January at 10 in the forenoon. The House is adjourned.
is the investiture of the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa AKUFO-ADDO. He gets his second term beginning today. And even though the NDC is challenging the matter in court, he is president of the land at this point. The Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, is his Vice President, the international community there, the diplomatic corps as well. And they were ably joined by their partners, the First Lady and also the wife of the Vice President. This you can tell from such on your screens. They're leaving in terms of hierarchy. So the President would leave first, and the Vice President will follow. The Speaker of Parliament will follow, and then the Chief Justice will follow. We'll have some presidents leave as well, and then we will have everybody exit nice and smooth right there. So serious work begins for the second term. The President says for the very first time in the history of our country, particularly also in the Fourth Republic, he is obliged to work in all sincerity as President from a different party with a Speaker of Parliament from another party. Dr. Jonah, what's on your mind?
Well,
These were the words of the President.
Yeah.
Again, reiterating sincerity, collaboration, consensus for our national interest.
yeah, and I think he means it because he has no choice. The political situation existing in this country at the moment leaves no room for any other option than to bring people together and work with them, especially since in this very brief speech, one of the shortest speeches that I have heard him
That's
make,
right.
He intends to not only consolidate the gains he has already made, but he also intends to undertake value-added activities that will provide people with more jobs. And he says that this year was the year of roads. Last year was the year of roads. This year is going to be the second year of roads. And then he's going to continue with the planting for food and jobs and the kind of self-reliance which COVID-19 has imposed on us. You know that under COVID-19, we started producing our own hand sanitizers, our own nose masks, and so on and so forth. And he says this is the kind of self-reliance which will define his second term.
Dr. Norman, so the President is calling consistently. I mean, through SONA, through everywhere, he's calling for us to start working together. But again, the impression that we've always been giving is that we're working together. We've been working together. If indeed we were working together or have been working together since time immemorial, why has it become so necessary to reiterate it at every turn, every least opportunity? There we go.
All right. Johnny, maybe the first time we were supposedly working together, it was an administrative kind of happenstance. But this time there is a popular mandate that says you should work together. And so it's not a negotiable position anymore. I think he's probably now focused on getting Ghana to work again better this time. The first ceremony, he came in kente cloth.
That's right.
It was too much of pageantry. This time, he's wearing a suit, which is the attire of business, and not the cloth, which is attire of ceremony.
But at the time he walked into, he said, I am in a hurry. He said it.
Right.
He said he was in a hurry. So
the externalities did not underscore a man that was in a hurry, because at some point you have to drop the kente and put on working gear.
Right.
This time he's in a working gear, which now I believe when he says this is what he's going to do, he's going to do it. The first time I didn't believe most of the things that he said he was going to do will actually happen. So if we are going to work together, there are certain fundamentals he really needs to look at. The cost of borrowing money by business is too high. And the economists will agree with interest rates in Ghana is just too high. And if we are going to transform this economy, it's not going to be done by government. It's going to be done by private enterprise. And so you have to ennoble private enterprise to do that.
Okay, so there you see that's the Clerk of Parliament there. So the President, you would usually sign the register.
The visitors book.
Yeah, the visitors book, I beg your pardon. to indicate that he was there. As we used to do back in secondary school, we used to graffiti. It says, "I was here." The president has to indicate that he was there as well. The vice president as well, and all the other visitors of importance, great importance, will have to indicate that they were there. Amen. Komla Kluche, Messi Darlin, Loco, Joseph Gold, Armstrong, Alogbe, they will be in Parliament, and we'll cross over shortly to them. But Dr. Sarkodie, so President says this will be number 2 year of roads. He says this is the year, beginning this year, would do a lot of industrialization. He goes on to even mention Akpeteshio Apio. That's been branded properly that can compete anywhere in the world, even though he doesn't drink alcohol anymore, according to him. If you look at the economic drive, where do you see us going? We're talking about Ghana Beyond Aid, planting for food and jobs, 1 district, 1 factory, 1 village, 1 dam, planting for export and rural development. Big initiatives. But are we getting there?
I think we have made some progress, but for COVID, would have gone a step further than where we are now. If we take a look at the policies of government in the first 4 years, and you take a look at the manifesto, the 2020 manifesto, it is just a continuation of whatever they put into their manifesto in 2016. So in terms of vision, in terms of plan, it's not different. It's just a continuation. So free SH is just a continuation. 1D, 1F is a continuation. Agricultural modernization is a continuation. The aim of government is to transform the economy to the extent that we will create the needed jobs. I would say that we've made some progress in terms of economic growth. We've made some progress in terms of job creation, but the structure of the economy hasn't changed significantly. The key word here is significantly.
How do you mean? So, for example, local business owners and private business owners, like Dr. Norman agrees that they are the ones who will employ a lot more. They say government is not spending enough to open up the economy for them to be able to get in. They find it difficult to borrow. Their monies are stuck with the bank until recently when they were giving back some of their monies. They had zero bond coupons. Their monies are locked up. Industry is not rolling around. For example, the agri sector says we can't find corn and grains to give to the chicken. Egg prices have shot up from 1 CD to 1 CD 20 pesos, 1 CD 50 pesos. So yes, we're saying the things we want to do, but on the ground, we are not feeling it. So
a student in Japan has 100% assurance of getting a job. A university student in Ghana has only 10% chances of getting permanent job. The difference between Japan and Ghana is structural transformation. We mean by moving your labor, your low-skilled labor from agric to manufacturing. Any economy that is not able to create the needed job hasn't arrived. Until the economy grows to the extent of creating the needed job such that almost everybody will have an assurance of getting some job, we have not gotten anywhere. Doc mentioned the private sector.
Right.
If you look at the employment, dynamics in Ghana, only 6% of all the workers in Ghana are employed by government. 6%.
6.
The remaining 94% are employed by the private sector. So you cannot grow your economy. You cannot talk about structural transformation. You cannot talk about job creation when you do not pay attention to the private sector. And in talking about the private sector, there are things that we consider, and Ghana is not in isolation. Remember that we are competing with other economies in the world. So there's something called Doing Business Report. And every year that report comes out. It talks about credit, access to credit.
Right.
Now, if your interest rate is 23%, another country's interest rate is 9%, do you think you can compete with such a person?
And if you're running the African Free Trade area here, you're running it from here, and yet your prices, your interest rates are not as competitive as theirs.
Yes.
Are you shooting yourself in the foot?
I have said on a number of occasions that we should pursue a single-digit interest rate as a country, just as we did for inflation. if we're able to pursue this single-digit interest rate as a country, we will get somewhere. Now, you talk about access to credits. You talk about registering. How many forms do you have to fill? Do you have to fill the paper or you have to do it online? In some countries, taxes are filed and paid online. Do we do that in the country?
GRA started a pilot.
Yes.
2 years ago or so.
You know, how do we register our property here? You know, so all these things, one day I'll give you a list of what you consider when doing business report.
I see.
That is what we must concentrate on as a country.
So then the 94% you're talking about from the private sector, this would include the informal sector.
Yes, they include the informal sector.
It is, for me, I believe in no contribution, no chop.
Yes.
The last time the Population Council did the census, they said that 27% of us are taking care of 73% of all of us.
Yes.
The government of AKUFO-ADDO says that we're going to find a way to widen the tax net to bring in the informal sector. We even set up Revenue Ghana under NAPCO to be able to rope them in there.
Yes.
But then all of this has been talk because, again, the average coconut seller who's selling coconut at 2 cedi 50 pesos doesn't pay taxes. But then the guy who's working with a microfinance who is earning 800 Ghana cedis a month pays taxes right heavily there.
Yeah.
How do we ensure that it's equitable? We're collecting from everywhere, the little we can find, so that we can all put something in the basket and enjoy.
You know, there's this thing going on social media that iClear, whatever mode activated. Yes. I think now the revenue generation mode should be activated.
Okay, hold on for me a bit. Let's cross over now to the State House where my colleague Selam Amenya is standing by. Selam, thank you very much. You've been monitoring proceedings closely there. I see the guard of honor on my screen. What more can you share with us? Hello, Salam.
All right, so the swearing in of the president that has been done by AKUFO-ADDO is being done, and then this is the very first guard of honor that he is inspecting after his election and swearing in. Term as president, he is done inspecting the guard of honor, and I am sure now he is heading for his vehicle to leave the forecourt of the Parliament House. And true to the words of the NDC MPs, they could not attend the ceremony as they are in court challenging the election of the president AKUFO-ADDO. But if you look at the speech this time, the president was rather reassuring, assuring Ghanaians of his commitment to ensure that the gains that we have made so far as the democracy is concerned are sustained. He also spoke about his willingness to work hand in hand with the Speaker of Parliament and also ensure consensus. A clear departure of what he said 4 years ago. If you remember, 4 years ago, the president touched on the fact that there was the need to protect the public purse, something he was going to do. He also indicated that we must restore integrity in public life, where he said that if you want to make money, then you go to the private sector, but then not in the public sector. This time around, the president rather was assuring Ghanaians of his willingness to take up the task to ensure that the economy is brought back to life. He was quick to add that though the pandemic, that is COVID-19, has had a toll on the economy, it is still looking good, and for the next 4 years, he is sure of working, collaborating with the Speaker of Parliament. This is one thing a lot of more people are considering, that how is the president with a speaker from the opposite side going to work? But he has reiterated that there is a need to ensure that they have a collaborative relationship for the good of the country. So that was the 21-gun salute for the president. He's already inspected the guard of honor, and he will be departing very soon. So from the forecourt of the Parliament House here in Accra, Selam Amenya for TV3 News. Over to you, Johnny, in the studios.
Thank you very much. That's my colleague Selam Amenya there, and this will be the 8th firm in the 4th Republic. So this will be President AKUFO-ADDO's first bite at military glory. He assumes power as the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, comprising the Navy, the Air Force, and the Ghana Army. And you just saw a beautiful display of a guard of honor for him as President of the Republic, and drawn from the Army there. So subsequently, you get to see him enjoy the national salutes. The anthem will be played for him when he comes up there. It comes with the office. So congratulations to President AKUFO-ADDO. Doc, I'll come to Dr. Jonah, but wrap up on the point you were making.
So I'm saying that domestic revenue mobilization mood should be activated.
Okay.
Now we need that. In fact, the whole idea of Ghana Beyond Aid should have or should start with revenue mobilization. If you have money, you can do anything. Now you raise an issue of the informal sector.
Right.
I am particularly happy about digitization process that has started in the country. I am extremely happy about that digitization.
Okay.
If we can link the digitization to revenue mobilization, you go to the informal sector. Truly, let me clarify this. The informal sector, they pay tax. They pay indirect tax. Because if you go to buy this and there's a VAT on it, you've already paid the tax.
We all pay.
What we are talking about is the income tax.
What I'm talking about, for example, the average mason who comes to do by day for you gets to take home 80 Ghana cedis and 100 Ghana cedis. The average person working at a microfinance or sometimes working as a private school teacher doesn't get marked 100 Ghana cedis a day. But that person pays heavily than this person. And then when we start talking about free water, free electricity, we will consider the mason and the carpenter as the lifeline beneficiary. So they are not paying much, but they are getting everything.
So two things, I would suggest two things here. The digitization should be linked to revenue mobilization. The other one that I will consider is to have the tin. The tin should be a prerequisite for somebody to enjoy social, program or whatever. For example, the free SHS. I think that it should get to a time where if you are a parent, your ward cannot enjoy the free SHS if you, the parent, do not have the tin.
Okay.
Because that is a demonstration that you pay taxes. So the mason that you are talking about, whose son will have to enjoy free SHS, cannot enjoy the free SHS if you do not have the tin. The tin should tell us that you are paying taxes.
And the tin should also be able to tell us, for example, that this is a mason's son, this is Dr. Sarkodie's son. Dr. Sarkodie can afford to pay school fees, so no free SHS for you. Let's give it to the masons.
We haven't gotten there yet.
The finance minister proposed that.
I don't support it now.
You don't support it?
I don't support it now. Maybe later on, but I do not support it now. If you can pay, then you pay to the schools. If you're a parent and you can pay. Look, these free SHS, even look at the political parties. Look at what NDC said in their campaign. Look at what CPP and all that. There seems to be a consensus on this free SHS. I have always supported it, and I'll continue to support it. When it comes to financing, it is just 3.2. I don't know why people are making so much noise about the financing. It is just 3.2 billion Ghana cedis.
Dr. Norman made an earlier point. This was my final one with you. An earlier point that whenever you had asked a question about what was happening in terms of the economy is not good, they point you to free SHS. I'm not getting water, free SHS. So in the minds of the electorate, it has taken too much from us. You get where the point is coming from. So where the government functionaries themselves kept explaining everything away with free SHS, the people will think, well, then the free SHS must be costing us a lot of money.
Yeah, I get it.
So that line, the president says, sincerity must come to play now.
We must be sincere.
Yeah. Let's go to the Savannah region. Christopher Mwako is a man out there. What's the mood and feeling post the investiture of President AKUFO-ADDO and also the response out there? Chris?
Okay, so Johnny, what I have to say is that the people, I'm currently in the northern region. The people are very happy that at long last we now have a president and a vice president as well as a speaker of parliament. So everything is set for Ghana to make progress. I watched the investiture with a lot of people, especially some of them came all the way from Nadoli Kalil, the constituency of the current Speaker of Parliament, Right Honorable Alban Somana Bagben. So I'm with some of them, and I just want to engage them small. So, gentlemen, you watched the investiture. You are live on TV3, first of all. What are your initial comments on what happened today?
My comments are that the current government is making things balanced. Why? Because they have chosen a speaker from the other side of the party, which for me, I think is of great, I mean, it's a great thing to do because it's creating a balance between both parties. And then seriously, too, the person chosen is from my constituency. It makes my people also happy.
Okay. So in 2013, the then minority MPP side boycotted the swearing in of then President John Dramani Mahama. Today, the NDC have also boycotted the investiture of President-elect or President AKUFO-ADDO. What do you have to say about this?
It's unfortunate. I don't think we need to see each other. When one is wrong, it means that the other two also go wrong. I've actually had the patience to join. In doing all these things, but it's more like my wish is that it doesn't happen again.
Well, thank you very much, Chris, for that update from the Northern region. We'll connect now to the Ashanti region. That's the stronghold of the NPP. The present president, who's just been sworn in, has a stronghold, his party's stronghold from the Ashanti region. William Evans Nkum is a man on the ground there. Earlier, I had said that the mood out there was calm. That was before the swearing in of the president. So what's happening now? Is there jubilation as we speak? Bill, welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Johnny. Not actually, but only to say that people are now coming back to the streets. You know, earlier there were some level of, one would say, a lot of people have deserted the street because they were actually listening to the president and also, development from the floor of Parliament. Now I can see, the busy nature of some principal streets in Kumasi Metro gradually picking up. Not too long ago, here appears to be like a cemetery, but now, you can see some level of movement as far as this place is concerned. But before coming on air, I have been interacting with some people, and they tell me that they are happy, especially with the mentioning of good networks in the Ashanti region. It has been one of the bane of,
okay. Bill, let's compare this quickly to the 2016 moments when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo won the presidency after 3 trials. If you compare and contrast, what can you share? Oh, well, we lost him, I understand. But let's go back now to the independence, the Parliament House. Selam Amenye standing by there. I understand he's running an interview. Selam, take it away.
We do not have the challenges we had with the supply of energy. The Dumso is gone. So the president has laid a very strong foundation, and he is now determined to build on that foundation to accelerate the transformation of our country for the benefit of all our people.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, I'll be here for
All right, so let's see. You were at the ceremony. First of all, you are not part of the 8th Parliament. What would you be doing?
I happen to speak for my party, my political party. So it's important that I was in there. Yes, not representing the 8th Parliament or myself, but representing the party.
All right, let's see. So we've seen the swearing in of the president. Your impressions?
I believe it's important that we close the loop. And for me, it's happened. It's significant that the president has finally been sworn in and Ghana's government has been reconstituted from the events of last night. We had quite a bit of a vacuum at some stage, and now that loop is closed. That's the most important thing that has happened here. That now the organs of government are formally and officially reconstituted. That's very important.
Right. Some critics have said that the president, unlike 4 years ago, where he reiterated the fact that he needed to protect the public purse and all of that, if you want to make money, go to the private sector, not the public. This time he stayed off it, meaning he's admitting that he's not been able to protect the public purse. What do you say to that?
Absolutely not. You can't speak in default of his speech 4 years ago. That is 4 years ago. We have 4 years now. It means His Excellency the President has been working for the past 4 years. And therefore, and don't forget, he also had a last State of the Nation address barely 2 days ago, where he spoke extensively about what he had done. And so today it was more or less an uplifting moment, telling us to look forward together. And today he addressed critically the key elements of our democracy, the arms of government, and how we should govern together in unanimity. That is the essence of the times, because of what we had seen from yesterday. Don't forget, we were speaking in the presence of a speaker literally from the other side. But we know the Right Honorable Speaker is a moderate. He has vast parliamentary experience, and he's going to put this experience to the best use that Ghana will get of him. And therefore, the President addressed the governance issues, the need for engagement, the need to work together in order to build on the foundations of the past 4 years. I think the speech was apt.
All right, before you go, the chaos at Parliament today, you have been in that house. Some have said it's embarrassing and it will wane the respect that Parliament has. What do you say?
Embarrassing, yes, even bizarre at some stages, but I think it reflects the energy of our budding democracy. Our democracy is growing very fast. The victory is in the process and the overcoming of the risky aspects of that process. It could have tilted anyway, but good sense prevailed, and everybody involved felt that they were doing whatever they were doing in the interest of Ghana. And therefore, we didn't go over the top. So yes, embarrassing. Parliament itself will have to have a sit down, look at itself and purge itself of those things. But clearly, our democracy stood the test. We have elected a speaker, and the speaker has come in to inaugurate the President of the Republic and the Vice President. The institutions have closed the loop. The Chief Justice was here to perform. And therefore, you realize that the government is now in place. That, above all, is what we all should be looking for. Yes, it happened, but we all saw it. It was bizarre, but we have overcome it.
Thank you very much, Honorable Yabo Biasamoah.
Thank you very much.
Right. Yes, Honorable, your impressions about the ceremony today?
I think the ceremony was beautiful. The way the speaker came in was also according to custom. The president spoke in measured tones, and I like that. I think what he wants to see is a united people, and that's, I think, what we are all craving for. What is important for me was that when institutions of governance work, everything is very beautiful. That is why we might desist from attacking our institutions. When we do that, we weaken them. Whether it's the Electoral Commission, whether it's the police or the military or Parliament, we weaken those institutions. What happened last night is untenable, and we hope that it will never happen again. But I think the president spoke very well. He set the tone for the country, you know, and for our future as well.
Thank you. The president spoke about consensus and looking at Parliament, 137 for each side. What do you want to see going forward in terms of consensus building?
Well, I think we need, all hands on deck. And that is the essence of nation building. And I think the president's speech also, touched on that. What it means is that both sides, not just one side, both sides must work together, for the benefit of our country. That's all. That is what is important. We want this country to grow. We want this country to develop. We want our citizens to be wealthier. We need to put, our wheels, our shoulders to the wheels of progress. That is all we want. And I think that the tone has been set. Now let's get on with the work of our country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You ready? Yes, sir. Honorable, yes, TV3, yes. Tell us about the ceremony that you just witnessed.
It's a solemn ceremony, very short, which was good. And I think it's an opportunity for Ghanaians to rethink our future. I've always held the view that politics is essentially about the welfare of the underprivileged. And the president indicated in his second term that he expects all of us to work with him together to provide more development for the people of Ghana. And I think he's on the right course. He's used his first term to put together a very strong foundation for this country. And he's been able to generate a lot of respect for Ghana. And I think even among the Committee of Nations, it's remarkable. Today we had 13 heads of state here for this occasion. I don't think it's ever happened in our country where there's a swearing-in ceremony. You have as many as 13 heads of state and presidents. So he's a very influential leader on the African continent. And of course, he's chairman of ECOWAS. And over his 40 years of political life, he has shown that he's someone who is selfless, who is prepared to serve his country, who is prepared to sacrifice for his people. Of course, he's a human being like all of us. So I'm sure he will reflect on what has happened in his first 4 years. And again, he talked about the will of the people. The fact that the parliament is so stridently close goes to show you that the Ghanaian people want to see the two main parties work together for the interest of our party, of the country. Politics is all about governance, and governance is about the interest of the country. So we need to imbibe a lot more patriotism to the Ghanaian, you and I, every one of us, especially those who will be lucky to serve in his administration for the second term, that we are in to serve the people of Ghana. So to take the decisions that will ensure that we safeguard our public treasury. So I think it's a hopeful time for the people of Ghana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much too.
That's my colleague Selam. There are three conversations there. One with Yabu Abiy-Asamoah, who is former member of parliament for the Adentan constituency, and also the NPP's director of communications, also the Honorable Isaac Osei, who has been a worthy representative from Ghana to the rest of the world, served in the United Kingdom. And then, last but not least, the Honorable Ejipon there. He also shared, you saw him actively in the campaigns right there. He's former secretary of the NPP, was suspended at some point, but he's back in the fray and helping his party there. Dr. Jonah, let me pick your closing thoughts. Where do we go from here?
Well,
with all the diagnosis that we've done, economic situation, everybody's calling, we're asking, where do we go from here?
I think it is very clear from the conversations we have had around this table and from everything we've heard from the president that a ceremony has ended, but a completely new dawn has begun. And this is going to be a new dawn, not just of new economics, but of new politics. Parliament is now going to meet, they are going to form the committees and so on and so forth. I have reiterated this on so many platforms. I think the time has come for us to be thinking very seriously. And if you want to work together, you should actually work together. Parliamentary committees should be distributed among the two parties in Parliament so that NDC can chair some, NPP can chair some. You cannot say in words that you want to work together when actually you're not working together.
Consensus doesn't build itself.
Yes. Now, when we do that, there's very little that is going to keep the two parties apart. You chair some committees, I chair some committees. They are going to be able. So the other point they must be very seriously thinking about is given the fact that majority of ministers should come from Parliament,
Right.
and the government has so very
50% of the president's ministers.
so very few ministers, is it going to be possible to have the same huge you don't even have the numbers? So two things should happen: a smaller government, fewer ministers, so that you can have your majority from Parliament. Two, parliamentary meeting time should be adjusted in such a way that the few members of Parliament who are ministers can fully participate.
Okay.
They can work in their ministerial offices a better part of the day and maybe come 3 o'clock, 3:30 to Parliament to work until 11. So it calls for a new way of doing things.
Would you advise that President AKUFO-ADDO picks some ministers from the side of the NDC as well?
I will be very, very happy, but it should not be just sit down and pick. You should negotiate.
Okay.
So that they come as representatives of the parties.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Norman, your closing thoughts. I'd like us to look at the security front.
Right.
And I think the clarion call from all the security experts is that keep the civilians away from security appointments. So presently we have an interior minister who's a lawyer who has been in that position before under the AKUFO administration and got it under AKUFO-ADDO. We don't have a new one now. The defense minister, also a civilian, with a minister for national security, also a civilian. Now, should we change that song and sing a new one where not textbook security people, but security people who have had the benefit of being on the ground, have tasted it, have served, have commanded, and will have control? Should that change? Should that song change?
It should change, and I've been amongst the people that have made this call. And the reason is that the learning curve for those who have never served either police, army, air force, the rest, before, when they get into this job, it takes a long time for them to understand the security architecture and a lot of mistakes that they make. And we've seen a few of them ourselves in real time during this the last 4 years. And so I think there's nothing against the personalities that they didn't appoint themselves. Many of them I actually like. But if you're going to make, for example, I've never been in any of the security forces, and you make me interior minister, you're going to have to surround me with people who really, technical people who understand security, internal security, so that the job can be done properly. It's the same thing with health security.
All right.
When you put an accountant in charge, and I made the call on this station, in this station, and then your deputy was a beautician, one lawyer.
And a lawyer, yeah.
I think that was a really terrible decision by the president.
Okay.
So I think going forward, there's a lot of wisdom that has been shared publicly, unsolicited. I think he's learned a lot from it. And I think we're going to see a completely new approach to doing business in Ghana.
Final one, the security chiefs themselves, those who are appointed by the president, CDS, IGP, all of them, how should they be acting at this point going forward, given the fact that people have said that they seem to have become pawns in the hands of the politicians? How should they be behaving going forward so that they can bring back the confidence that once they had?
Sure. Unless we go to a point where IGP is an elected position, he's always going to be a pawn because he'll be working at the pleasure of the president. And so we need to change the architecture, the legal framework.
Okay.
Then the freedom will come in.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sarkodie. He is an economist. He joined us here. Also, Dr. Kwesi Jonah. He is with IDEC. And Dr. Ishmael Norman is the president of ISTIS. And thank you very much, gentlemen, for your time. I wish you all the best. Happy New Year to all of you. And thank you for staying with us and enjoying our extensive coverage. We started last night at 9 p.m. We are now knocking off. It's been round-the-clock coverage. Alfred Okansi, Roland Volker, Martin Esidu Date, Bella Mundi, Natalie Ford, the rest of the team from the back end, Babina Finwalker leading the pack, Newblite Komi, Collins Esuma, and Thomas Adote, Papo Brighton, and for Matilda Haynes, Sedamo Furi, all of us, everybody who worked on the production, Most grateful for your time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for interacting with us, and thank you for participation. There's more here on TV3. You don't want to go away, and also on 3FM 92.7. Stay with us.
Our nation is ever changing. From unanticipated global challenges to uncertain domestic issues. Now more than ever, we need voices we can trust to ask the